Welcome back to the channel. Today we are heading over to a storage unit. There is a 72 440 Charger sitting inside of it. Been sitting for some time now, and what I'm gonna do is I brought my jack. I need to go get my impact. I think all the tires are flat, and I forgot to bring starting fluid, but I also need to grab a can of that because it has been sitting for a long time. So I think starting fluid is a must, and we'll see if we can get this thing started, get the tires full of air, see exactly what we need to do to it. Not exactly sure, but I do know it's in there. All right, so we're over here at the storage unit complex, going to look at this car. Man, look at this place, all these storage units. I wonder what's in all of them. Maybe there's a bunch of rare cars. You guys ready for this? Just took the lock off. You guys are gonna be the first ones to see this thing for quite some time. Oh man, it's kind of hard to open one-handed. Woo! There she is. Ready to go. Doesn't look like there's any, I don't see any mice in here. I guess, oh, there's some stuff down there. We'll have to check it out. But yeah, look at this thing. Orange General Lee. Not bad, boys. So let's look at the tire situation. Well, this hood needs a little bit of work. I think this tire over here is all the way flat. Of course, it's the one that's right up against the wall. The only one. Whoo! There's a fake snake that got me scared. So yeah, I think first things first, we're gonna try to start this thing because I have to kind of pull it out so I could get that tire off of it. Or maybe I could put the jack under it and scoot it over. It's gonna be kind of a process, but we'll figure it out. Man, these hood pins, I've never liked hood pins. All right, you guys ready for this? Not bad, not bad at all. Look at that. Got some either oil or fuel leaking right there. Gonna have to look at that. It might be fuel. Been sitting for some time. It might have just ate through the line, the braided line. But yeah, I need to. I'm guessing the battery is probably way cached. This thing's been. Oh, maybe they pulled the fuse for the battery. That'd be awesome. No, there's blown fuses. There's a blown fuse here. Good fuse here. Where's that fuse go though? Is the question. This thing should start, but we have to find out. What I was able to do was wiggle the Charger over with a jack. I have it on a jack stand, and this thing's been sitting so long that it peeled the paint off of the floor. So these tires are brand new. They just, I mean, they're not dry rotted, but I mean, they've been definitely sitting inside for quite some time. So what I'm gonna do, actually there's a little bit of dry rot right there. What I'm gonna do is go fill this tire up with air, then I will actually be able to roll this thing around, go grab some starting fluid as well, and then be able to get this thing hopefully started. I figured out where that fuse went. The 30 amp fuse just goes right here. I put it in. I probably need to check to see if there's any power to the battery, and then just kind of, you know, go from there, see if this thing will actually crank. If it doesn't crank, I need to go grab like a jump box or another battery just so we can get this thing fired up and everything. But yeah, this thing is really, really clean. It just was painted, but it just looks like some stuff is going on here. We'll look at it a little bit better when we get outside. And the other tires need some air, but they have some air in it, so they actually will roll around, so we shouldn't have too big of an issue there. And I think it has a fuel tank, but there's a spare fuel tank right there, so I'm not exactly sure. Hopefully she has fuel in her. Hopefully it's not bad gas. I guess we'll just have to find out. That's kind of sketchy. This storage area unit complex, it looks like somebody like broke into that one. I'm gonna pull the battery out of my Magnum just so I know I have a good battery for the charger. The issue I had was there wasn't enough room to open the door to check to see if it'll crank. So what I'm gonna have to do is put this wheel and tire on. I just filled it up with air. I was gonna fill it up with air at the gas station. It was like $1.50 for their like low pressure air. So I just came over to the junkyard, filled the tire up with air. Now I'm gonna take the battery. So once I push the car out, I know I have a way to get it back into the storage unit because yeah, it's heavy. I'm by myself. If I did get it out and I couldn't push it back in, what would I do? So let's pull this battery, go back in the truck, get back over to the storage unit and get this charger pulled out so we can actually take a proper look at it. We now have a tire on the car, so it is rollable. What I'm gonna do now is actually pull that shelf out maybe so I can get inside the car without having to push it out so I can get it to crank just in case I can't get it to start. Instead of pulling the whole shelf out, I just pulled the sections out and then the little bars. Now I can get in the car and it seems like there's some mice poop right there and I'm not sure. I always hate cars that have been sitting and don't want this, even though the paint's peeling on the door, we don't want it to mess the bodywork up. I mean, it doesn't really look like there's mice in here, but it kinda, see how that piece of paper down there's black, so it doesn't smell like mice. Let's put the fuse in. We just need to put the main fuse in. I'm guessing that's what this is. See if the battery is good, and then I guess we got the keys. Let's see if she starts. She cranked, but she cranked really slow. So what I'm going to do is throw the battery off the Magnum, just throw some jumper cables to this and try to get to crank a little bit faster. It sounds very healthy and everything, but I mean, everything looks extremely new. the purring, boys. Good oil pressure. Needs some fuel. That's a good thing. Alternator's charging. Temp is cold. Woo! This baby's supposed to be 500 horses. There she is, warming up. I need to put the lug nuts on the front wheel. I only put 2 on because they're kind of a pain to get to so close to the wall, because you kind of have to hold the wheel. But I mean, man, this thing, other than this little, the paint is like lifting. Something must have happened with, who knows exactly what happened, but it just didn't hear right. But other than that, I mean, just the doors really look messed up. The rest of the paint on the rest of the car looks really, really nice. So this is kind of a find. I mean, storage unit find right there. It's warming up. That built 440. It sounds really healthy and everything. So I'm gonna pretty much jack this thing up and put the rest of those lug nuts on, get it 100% ready to go. And yeah, the tires, actually those tires looked a lot lower inside once that tire was on. Kind of looks like it evened out. The front tire probably needs a little bit of air. They might all need a little bit of air. Looking around the car more, and it looks like the paint has lifted here as well, which is it's a really nice paint job. Really, really straight. It just has a lot of spots where the paint's lifting. So I guess it'll probably have to be repainted. You know, it probably just needs to go back to the same orange. I mean, it looks really, really good. And everything underneath is like brand new. And it doesn't even look like it's been driven. It has the inner fender liners Rhino line. And I mean, yeah, new brakes, it looks like. Everything looks new. I need to pop the trunk, see if there's any mice in there, because there was some mice poop. And it looks like there's some mice stuff going on right there. Looks like they're eating something. They're probably eating this thing right here, but yeah, let's look in the trunk. Also didn't think I was gonna fit in here, but these racing seats are like really tight, but once you're in them, they're really nice. But listen to this thing, listen. Not bad. Really clean. The dash has a few little cracks on it, but I mean, it's a 72. They're old. My FC was a lot worse. Don't really see any mice back here, but it looks like all the rest of the parts for the car are in the trunk. And the quarter panels look like they're coated really nice. The whole inside of the trunk is also painted. Same color, looks really good. Check the tire pressure. This one's at 20, that one's at like 19. So what I'm gonna do is drive this thing over to the gas station, put a little bit of 91 in it, also fill up all the tires to 35 PSI. Needs a little bit of gas, it's almost empty. So now, I mean, it's very surprising that this thing started up as well as it did. It's just such a clean car. All right, we got the first drive going on. I definitely need a, you know, this seat is way too close. It's just like you're in there. If I ever got a wreck, I'd probably hit my head on the windshield. So Yeah, let's get some gas in here. This girl is empty. The air machine ended up getting me. I had to come over here. It cost like $3, but now the tires are filled to 35 PSI, so we should be good to go on a little cruise, which, yeah, it was getting kind of sketchy, and I only drove like maybe a mile and a half. Put like 10 bucks of fuel in there, and it got me to almost half a tank. So now I'm gonna go for a little bitty drive, and I probably need to look at the brakes. They're kind of feeling a little like they're not working. I probably should check the master before I go on this drive. Maybe I'll do that first. I mean, she's a little rowdy. Hell yeah. Them old cars though. Just check the brake fluid. It looks a little bit dirty, but it is full. So it looks a lot better also with the tires when they have some air in them, and it drives so much nicer. So I think what I'm gonna do is go take it up and down the block really quick. It doesn't feel that fast. It's supposed to be like 500, it's a 440, fully built, and it's supposed to be like 500 horsepower, I think. But the Magnum's under 500, it's like 480 something or 490 something, whatever they are. But it's just the newer technology, it just makes them feel so much quicker. These older ones are carbureted, and the newest stuff is just, you can't beat it. But yeah, the engine's nice, it drives nice, it idles nice. I mean, it's just all around a really good find. I mean, it has been sitting for a while, but I mean, it didn't take much to get her to start and go from there. So let's take her for a little cruise. Make sure we don't get hit by any crazy drivers. Drives nice. There's a tunnel. Should we do the Hellcat thing? Sounds like it's breaking up a little. It probably just needs to be kind of cleaned up. The jets are probably a little dirty, but man, she cruises though. Need to charge this battery up since it was sitting for so long. I'll turn around up here and take her back. I don't want to give her too far of a voyage. Yeah, it just feels like it needs probably a rejetting or something. It's just a little bit, kind of just sounds like it needs something more. It just sounds like it's getting either too much fuel or not enough. But these old cars, I mean, it's hard to tell because you have the whole issue where you don't have wideband. I mean, the Hellcat has a built-in wideband, so I can just go on the display, look at my FRs, good to go. So, I mean, these old cars are cool. This thing's actually a nice find for what it is, but yeah, it needs a little bit of work, needs probably to be repainted. The interior needs to be gone through a little bit more, but all in all, I'd say it was a pretty decent find. So let's put her away, go back, and I guess I'm just gonna go home after this and kind of do some other stuff. I need to do some stuff with the Magnum, do some stuff with the Hellcat. After the first drive, I'm actually very surprised. It didn't pull any weird ways. The alignment was very nice. Once the tires had proper air in them, it just cruised down the road. One thing I did notice is that the coolant system isn't building pressure. It's this cap right here. You can hear it blowing by. It's just not sealing. So these caps are the cheap ones, or they're kind of expensive from the parts store, but they never work. So a proper cap, it'll build proper pressure, and everything will be good to go from there. Probably a coolant reservoir would be a good addition to this, but the cap is the main thing. Other than that, the car is very clean underneath, looks brand new. I mean, everything looks brand new besides the flaws in the paint and how the fenders and everything is lined up. It really needs to be lined up again, needs to be painted. But other than that, it is a really straight car, drives really nice, drives straight. Once I put air in the tires, I mean, this is a find. I mean, it's very hard to find one of these cars in good condition, but in a stage that really doesn't need a whole lot of work. It already has a built engine, built tranny. All the drivetrain is pretty much rebuilt. The one thing is the older cars don't feel like the newer cars, the Hellcat, the Magnum. I mean, you know, 500 horsepower against this, the Magnum's most likely going to win. I mean, maybe if this thing had been rejetted, maybe the jets need to be cleaned. But other than that, it's just very surprising. So I'm gonna leave this here, and then it's gonna make its maiden voyage maybe sometimes this week. I just don't want to have to deal with moving it right now. But other than that, I think this is a really clean variant of this body style. But yeah, I'm gonna end the video here. If you like these videos, make sure to click the subscribe button, throw a thumbs up, throw a comment below, and as always, see you guys next time.